Previously, I had touched on my thought that stagflation is probably going to be a product of the current situation. And I just wanted to get a little bit more in depth on why I believe that's going to happen. So just to kind of reiterate, stagflation is a combination of high unemployment and high inflation. So the Fed's going to be interested in dropping rates. That's kind of their stated intention. But the problem with that is that's going to accelerate the inflation that's caused by oil prices going up. So oil prices are maybe the most important factor in our economy. They determine the prices of fuel, the prices of food, and most things are going to be transported, even the prices of plastic. Pretty much it's the bedrock of our economy. So cheap sources of energy is super important for us to continue to grow. So now, if the Fed's going to continue to drop rates, it's going to accelerate inflation, which is going to become problematic, right? The worst thing that people fear is something called hyperinflation, where you have an extremely high rate of inflation. So the next step would be to probably increase interest rates, right? Reluctantly, the Fed might be forced to increase interest rates. So the general idea is you're supposed to increase interest rates past the rate of inflation to bring down inflation, which is kind of something that happened a couple of years back. If people remember when inflation was pretty high, I believe it was 2022, and the Fed raised interest rates to ideally above the rate of inflation to kind of cool down the economy, because if people are spending less, price inflation is going to go down. So now, even if interest rates became extremely high, which is going to bring the economy to a screeching halt, that's not going to change the cost of oil. If oil continues to rise, and of course that's an if, we never know what's going to happen, but if oil does continue to rise, or if things don't drastically change in the near future, even bringing up interest rates wouldn't bring down the cost of, wouldn't really bring inflation into check, because oil is just going to keep pushing it up. So the Fed's kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. So in general, the Fed always has an issue where they're trying to keep low inflation and low unemployment. It's almost like trying to bring two magnets together because they repel, because they're inversely proportional. But in this case, because of energy is like the bedrock of our economy. If we can't have cheap energy, then there's not really much the Fed can really do. So just wanted to kind of share that point of view. Hope this is helpful. Please like and subscribe, and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.